The Gentleman of Rio-en-medio. It has been written by John A. Cedillo. So let's go to first para. It took months of negotiation to come to an understanding with the old man. He was in no hurry. What he had the most of was time. He lived up in Rio-en-medio, where his people had been for hundreds of years. He tilled the same land they had tilled. His houses were small and wretched. The little creek ran through this land. His orchard was gnarled and beautiful. So it took months of negotiation, means month of discussion, to come to an understanding with that old man. The old man was not in a hurry. What he had the most was time. So the old man has very much time. As he was living up in Rio-en-medio, a place in Santa Fe country, New Mexico, in United States, where his people had been for hundred of years. So their people had been lived for hundred of years. So he tilled the same land they had tilled. So what the land they have, he also used the same land of the people. His house was small and wretched. So his house was small and unpleasant, but it was unusual and attractive in attractive manner. The house was very much attractive. The little creek ran through his land. So a small narrow stream or river. So a river lapped through his land. His orchard was gnarled with twisted hard lumps and very much beautiful. His land was very much beautiful. It take months of official discussion to come and understanding. The old man was not in a hurry. He had very much time. As he was living in Rio-en-medio, it is located in San Francisco. His people were living from hundred of years in Rio-en-medio. He tilled the same land they had tilled, so he also tilled the same land the people had tilled. His house was very much small and unpleasant, but was very much attractive. The little creek, so a little river, gone through this land. His orchard was having a very much trees and with the twisted hand lumps, and it was very much beautiful. The day of the sale, he came into the office. His coat was old, green and faded. I thought of Senator Catron, who has been such a power with these people up there in the mountains. Perhaps it was one of his old Prince Albert's. He wore gloves. They were old and torn, and his fingertips showed through them. He carried a cane, but it was only a skeleton of a worn-out of umbrella. Behind him walked one of his innumerable kin, a dark young man with eye like a gazelle. When the old man came to sell its land to the office, he wore a coat that was very old and green and faded. The poet thought it was in Center Catron, means the Thomas Benton Catron, a centauran from New Mexico. He thought old man as Central Catron, who has been such a power with these people up there in the mountains. So he was very much popular in that people's. Coat was one of the old Prince Albert. Albert means double-breasted coat. He wore gloves, so he wore some gloves. That gloves was torn in the fingertips, near the fingertips, and the finger was shown out. He carried a crane so that to take support. It was like a skeleton of the umbrella. Behind is walked an innumerable kin, a dark young man with eyes like a gazelle. Gazelle means type a small deer which has a large beautiful eyes. So his eyes was very much beautiful. So let's go to third para. The old man bowed to all of us in the room. Then he removed his hat and gloves slowly and carefully. Chaplin once did that in a picture. In a bank, he was the janitor. Then he handed these things to the boy who stood obedient behind the old man's chair. So after coming to that room, the old man bows his head to all the people in that room. Then he removes his hat and gloves slowly and carefully, like Charlie Chaplin done once did in his movie. In a bank, he was a uh, security guard. Then he handed his things to the boy standing who was standing obedient behind the old man's chair. He was obedient to that old man. So here is the meanings. So let's go to fourth para. There was a grateful deal of conversation about Rain and his family. He was very proud of his large family. Finally, we got down to business. Yes, he would sell as he had agreed for $1,200 in cash. We would buy, and the money was ready. Don Anselmo, I said to him in Spanish, we had made a discovery. You remember that we sent that surveyor, that engineer up there to survey your land so as to make the deed well. Well, he finds that you own more than 8 acres. He tells us that your land extends across the river and that you own almost twice as much as you thought. He did not know that, and now, Don Anselmo, I added, these Americans are buena gente. They are good people and they are willing to pay you for the additional land as well as the same rate per acre, so that instead of $1,200 you will get almost twice of as much, and the money is here for you. So there was a great deal of conversation between old man and the Americans. They were talking about their families after they came to business, and the old man agreed to sell his land to the Americans. So Don Anselmo, it is called as Sir in Spanish. So the poet calls him as Don Anselmo. We have made a discovery. So he says we have made a discovery. So the Americans sent some surveyors to the land of that old man. So they have said that the the opposite from of river is also your land only. The another said that is not that you thought that is not your land, it is your land only. So they agreed to give $1,200 for the land before what he had, but now they had got that his land is more than 8 acres. So the Americans were good people. He says, the poet says, the Americans were good people. So they wanted to give the double rate of the land what before was agreed. $1,200, you will get almost twice much. So this is double of the money they will give what before was agreed. So this was about in fourth para. What was the conversation between the poet, the Don Anselmo, and Americans? The old man hung his head for a moment in thought. Then he stood up and stared at me. Friend, he said, I do not like to have you speak to me in that manner. I keep still and let him have his say. I know these Americans are good people and that is why I have agreed to sell them, but I do not care to be insulted. I have agreed to sell my house and lands for $1,200 and that is the price. So after saying that the Americans will give double of the money, double of $1,200, so the old man bows his hand and thoughts. Then he stand up and stared at the poet. He says, "Friend, I do not like to have you speak me in that manner." So he did not like the manner spoken by the poet. I kept still and let him say. So the poet kept quiet and let him to say what he want to say. Let him to say what he want to say. So the Donald Trump says, "I know these Americans are very good people, and so that is why I am selling the land for them." But he did not wanted to get insult. So I have agreed to sell my house and land for $1,200, and that is the price. So he says, "I agreed to sell my land for $1,200 only. I don't want more money." So saying, he says that is the last price. Don't give more money. Para, I argued with him, but it was useless. Finally, he signed the deed and took the money, but refused to take more than the amount agreed upon. Then he shook hands all around, put on his raked clothes, took his stick, and walked out with the boy behind him. So, the poet says, "I argued with him, but it was waste." Finally, the Don Anselmo signed the deed and took the money, but he refused to take more money. So he agreed to take only the money what was given, said before, not more than that. Then he shook hands all around, he put on his clothes again, and he took his stick and walked out with the ball behind him. So Rake torn deed agreement. Sorry, sorry. So watch the description of my video, and thanks for watching my video. And subscribe my first channel MN Coaching Center and my second channel Hopeless Land Fight for Survival. I will leave part 2 at evening or at night. So thank you.